Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining me here at the Red Fox Outdoors channel. My name is Red Fox, and thank you for being a part of the Fox Brigade. Today, we've got a special one for you. We're doing another gear review today, and it's going to be a good one. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back right after this. Okay, everybody, we're back. Today we're doing a review of these two Spyderco Tenacious knives, one in D2 and one in 13 MOV steel. This one here is the black in G10. This is the OD green in G10. I have a little paracord lanyard pull on this one. This one here does not. This one here used to be my everyday carry. So I'm going to start with this one, and then we'll move over to this one. So for now, I'm going to move this green one over here up out of the way. Alright, so I didn't know that this was the thing with Spyderco knives when I first got them, but apparently it's a thing. So as you can see, this Spyderco right here is missing a little screw here from the pocket clip. And the pocket clip is extremely loose. I have tightened it, I put Loctite on it, I have screwed them as tight as they'll go, and it's still, yeah. So I've lost this screw here. Luckily I was able to find it. This one here came completely out, and I took a screw from another knife out and replaced it with another screw that doesn't belong in it. Same thing with this one here. This one here just came loose. It didn't come all the way out, but it came loose and was sticking out of the handle. So I took it and just retightened it, Loctited it, put it back in place, and it's loose again already. This one here is tight, but it's a screw from a different knife. It doesn't even belong in this knife, so it's yeah, apparently, so Spyderco, it's a thing where their screws just over time completely loosen up and fall out of them. And I didn't realize this. I was talking to some people on some of the forums, on the EDC websites and stuff, and they said that these Spyderco knives, for whatever reason, their screws just back out of them over use. So you constantly have to carry a bit to tighten them with. Well, too little too late. I've already gotten rid of this one here, and I'm not using it as my everyday carry anymore. But those are just a few of the issues. So another issue that I have, if you can see here, the blade is got a big gap here, and it's all the way against the other side over here, and it's not sitting straight in the center there. So you can see how far off it is. So that's another thing too I really didn't like. I can screw this screw tight and it'll move the blade back over, but when I do that, it moves it all the way over to the other side. It doesn't like center it. So that's another issue. Like I don't like knives that have this crazy blade play in them. My other one over here, the Spyderco Tenacious in the OD green, never has that issue. It stays perfectly in the center of it on it. Not sure why, but anyway. So this is a great little knife. Like I said, this used to be my EDC. This is what I used to carry every day. This was my everyday carry knife. This knife has been used. Man, I've used the freaking snot out of this thing. As you can see, all the scratches on the blade, probably right there maybe. Yeah, there you go. There's a good shot of all the use that blade has seen. And as you can see, if you look down the blade there, let's scoot it back here. There we go. Maybe it'll focus on it. That blade is still kind of sharp, but not like enough that it will cut you. Like, it's dull enough that it won't cut you. But I've sharpened the snot out of this thing like I don't know how many times. So like right there you can really see all the scratches in the blade. That's just from all kinds of different woods that I've used it on. Cedar, oak, hackberry, just all the different kinds that's around here. Pine, I don't remember, there's mesquite. So this knife has been used and abused. I've used it as a pry bar. I've used it to screw screws in. I've used it to open house door that keys got left in the house. So I've used it to open doors. This knife has been really abused. The spine of it has been abused. I've used it to strike against ferro rods, striking against that spine real hard. It's seen a lot of use. The jimping is really good. I just don't like how far down the jimping is on the back side of the blade. I wish it was a little bit higher, maybe, to where it come back up here behind the spidey hole just a little bit, right here at the top maybe. It would be a little bit better. But other than that, the ergonomics are good. It feels like with where the jimping is at, that I don't have a comfortable grip on the knife. So if I put my thumb where it's supposed to be on the jimping, the knife, it's like really weird in my hand. Like it's not quite like at like halfway at the palm. It's just a little past halfway right there. But for me to carry this knife, honestly, that's where I carry it at, is like right there toward the end of my palm. And if I wrap my hand around it, you can see that the end of the knife here, it's not where the jimping should be. So you can see how much smaller, like that right there is comfortable to me. That right there, that's comfortable. Like, that's down in my hand where it should be, but the jimping is not where I think that it should be, and I think Spyderco could do better. Like, to me, the jimping feels like it needs to be further up here on the blade rather than back here, because if I'm holding it like, if I'm going to be like using it against something, okay, I don't know, it doesn't feel comfortable in the hand. Like, if I put my thumb where it's supposed to be, it pulls the knife way up into my hand and it feels weird. Like, I don't know, it's just something about this knife. The jimping is, I mean, it's good for what it is, okay? Like, I feel like I'm having to, I don't know, I feel like this little bump out here needs to go further up to really be like, that is where it's comfortable in my hand, but I end up with my finger almost into the blade on this, like, you can see that right there's that little bump right there, and honestly, my hand feels better with it like in front of that little bump. I don't know. Like, to me, that's comfortable right there, and holding it in my hand, that right there feels comfortable to me, right there. But if I put my thumb on it, it's like it's uncomfortable and it makes my arm hurt down in here. So like if I hold it like normal, like I'm supposed to, there's no jimping there for my thumb. There's no jimping here above the spidey hole. And maybe it's because it makes that spidey hole, I don't know, maybe if they added it up here it would make the blade weak or something. I don't know. But to me, holding that knife like this, that there is comfortable in my hand. Holding it here, that's not comfortable at all. Like, put my hand where it's supposed to be. Okay, like my pinky here is like on the end of the knife, and that to me is it's not comfortable. Like that's supposedly where it's supposed to be in the hand, and to me that's just not comfortable. It's not good ergonomics. It doesn't make sense. Maybe it's just because I've got bigger hands. I don't know. But I've not had an issue with the with anything else. Like it's got the liner lock in it, which is good. It's great. It doesn't want to come open because it's dirty. Hand up out of the way. There we go. Just the thing is, I don't know if y'all can actually hear that, but it's very dirty. I can hear the dirt in it like crackling around. And this is 8CR13 MOV steel. I've not had an issue with the steel on it rusting. Like it's never rusted up. I've used it around water. I've used it like, I mean, you can see this blade has seen some freaking use, guys. Like I said, this used to be my everyday carry, my knife that I used to use daily. But after I started losing all the screws out of it and all the issues with the pocket clip coming loose and falling off, having to find new screws for it, I just finally just was like, okay, I'm done. So I bought me another knife. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this one aside, and I'm gonna grab this one over here. This one here has a lot better action to it. This is the Spyderco Tenacious in OD green. Has the D2 steel. This one here is now my new everyday carry for now. I've been using the snot out of this thing. There's not a lot of wear on the blade right now. As you can see, still really sharp, except for like right here. It's like to me it feels like the blade's been rolled over right here. Actually the whole blade feels like it's been rolled for some reason. Yeah, this thing couldn't cut you even if you tried. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, it did cut me. Wow. Okay. So apparently it's sharp. Didn't hurt though. But yeah, the blade on this has been rolled, so I'm probably gonna have to sharpen it or do something with it because that blade has been rolled over. Like I can feel the actual roll right here. So yeah, I may end up having to sharpen this one. I'm not real good with sharpening knives, so if anybody has any tips on how to sharpen this type of knife would be great. Now, like I said, this knife here, it actually sits dead center in its deal here, so like it's not off to one side, it hasn't moved, there's no blade play in it, it's still like very tough, it won't move. And it's got a little bit of play, but not like a lot like the other one. Like this one here sits perfectly center in the case. So like it's perfectly centered inside of it. So there's see some sides. So this one here hasn't moved. The clip is super tight. All the screws are tight. None of these screws here have backed out, and I've had this knife now for almost a year. None of the screws have backed out. This is a pocket clip, blade down, right hand carry. I'm sure you could probably flip it, put the pocket clip on the other side right here, so you can take that clip, undo those 3 screws, flip it, put it on the other side right here, and you can make it for left hand carry, I would assume. And the nice thing about this is you can either do blade down, or if you really wanted to, you do blade up and just put it in these 3 holes here, but you'll kind of lose the little lanyard thing unless you want to move the little lanyard. I don't know if you really can't put it here because of the blade, but I use this one here as like a little lanyard pull. You know, I don't know. It's a great knife. Like I said, I've had this one for about a year. The action is super good on it. No dirt, no like crackling in the blade, like everything is still super smooth. It's D2 steel, and it has that ceramic black coating on it. This one here hasn't seen near the amount of use that my other one has. I love this knife. It feels better in the hand. Like it just, everything about this knife just feels better. I don't know what it is with this knife, why it just feels different than the other one. I don't know if it's because this knife here is just a touch longer on the end down here. As you can see, it sticks out of my hand there. The jimping is, I still feel like maybe the jimping could come up just a little bit further here on the back side of the blade. The jimping is good. Like I said, there's no blade play in it. Like the blade is totally stiff right here. There is zero play in that. The only issue I have right now, like I said, is the blade has been rolled. So, and the thing is, like, I can actually feel that roll. So that's crazy. Like, yeah, there's like it's sharp like this direction, but this way here it's even sharper this way. Like I can feel that roll over here on this side. So like it's been rolled that direction. Yeah, so like that blade has been rolled that way, and it's sharper coming this way than it is this way. Like I almost feel like I can feel the roll, like from where it's rolled. But that can be corrected just by doing a resharpen on it. That will be easy to fix. Like I said, this one here has zero blade play in it, so like this thing is not moving. This knife here compared to the black one, I'm going to give this one here right now 4.5 stars. The other one, I'm going to only give it like maybe 1.5 to 2, just because of all the issues that I've had with it. This one here, I'm going to give it a 4.5 star for a rating. This knife here it has been like my go-to. Now, I've actually been switching between two knives. So there's this one here, and then I've got another knife down here. Let me pull it out quick. So this is the Spyderco Tenacious in OD green, D2, deep carry pocket clip, supposedly deep carry pocket clip. It, to me, it doesn't have the deep carriness to it that it should. Liner lock. I don't know if they make a deep carry pocket clip for it. I'm sure they probably do. If they do, you can probably just buy the deep carry pocket clip for it. And then you can probably, I know the pull is usually for like pulling it up out of your pocket in a like a blade up configuration. And if you were to move the pocket clip to the other end, you'd still have your lanyard, so you wouldn't lose that. But it would be a blade up configuration. I prefer the blade down. I don't like blade up because 9 times out of 10, I've always, for whatever reason, I don't know why, blade ups always manage to open up my pocket and I end up getting my fingers stuck in them. So I always prefer to carry it as blade down. That way pretty much the blade stays closed at all times and it won't open up in my pocket. So I really, really, really like this knife. Been a great little knife so far. Like I said, it's perfectly centered in its housing. Like, it's not moved to one side or the other. Great ergonomics. Do the little Spidey flick with it. The action on it is just beautiful. It's smooth. So yeah, 4.5 stars are what I'm going to give this one, guys. I can't give it a total 5. It just mainly because the clip it's just not a deep carry clip. I'd give it 5 stars if it had a deep carry clip on it, or if I could find a deep carry clip for it. It would be a total 5 on my book. So another thing too that I've found is there are replacement scales that you can get for this. I've seen them online, but they are quite expensive. You can get the desert tan, you can get like a emerald green or forest green, you can get brown, you can get white, blue, yellow, orange, whatever color you want for this thing. They even make a pair of copper scales for it that you can buy, and they're solid metal copper scales. I think they're like $100 and something, but this knife has just been absolutely phenomenal. Like, I've had no issues with this thing in the year that I've had it. And like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4.5 stars, guys, because this thing just works, and I've had 0 complaints out of it. So great little knife for $50 or $60. I recommend it. Get the one in D2. The 13 MOV is okay, but I like this D2 still. Now, I will say this, the D2 still, you will have to sharpen it a couple more times more than you would the 13 or 16 MOV, the 8CR13. Like I said, dude, it's just super slick, man. Like, the action on this is just absolutely beautiful. I've used this thing as a fidget tool, like it just works. Like, you can come in here and you can probably untighten the screw just a little bit to take some tension off of it, but then you'll probably end up getting a little bit of blade play if you do that. But right now it is super tight, and I've had this thing for over a year, and I absolutely love this knife, guys. So recommend it 100%. If you decide to get the Spyderco Tenacious, get it in the D2 steel. You'll absolutely love it. It's a great little everyday carry knife for like a starter knife. So anyway, there's my review. 4.5 stars on the OD Green, 1.5 to 2 stars on the G10 Black, 8 CR13 as opposed to the D2. There's quite a bit of difference in how the blade reacts. So there you go, guys. That's my review. Hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Join me again here on the Red Fox Outdoors channel for more content. Stick around, and we'll see y'all next time. Till next time, guys, I've been Red Fox of Red Fox Outdoors. Thank you for being a part of the Fox Brigade, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.